Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Julie and you can find out more about the services or what I do in the description box below. So we're here today to do what's your message from your guides, and this really depends on what you feel when you hear the word guides, but this could be your spiritual team, this could be like your angels, someone who's passed, etc. They'll be sending a message through this card reading. So basically we've got 3 groups to choose from. You've got group 1 here, group 2 here, and group 3 here. Normally I use crystals to help you to select the card or the group that you want, but I thought today it'd be nice just to have cards, and so all the cards have different images there. So select the image or the group that feels right for you or resonates with you, and then click on the timestamp in the description box below to get to see what your reading is. Alright, look forward to seeing you again in the group that you choose. Thanks so much. Bye. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading. So let's see what your guides have to say to you. And this will be when you come to the reading. It doesn't have to be when it's published, because the message will still be applicable to you. So I'm going to leave that card aside for now and just see what the card have here. So we've got man holding a coin, and so for me this reminds me in the tarot of the King of Pentacles, and it's really about focusing on your abundance. And I'm seeing dragons in there as well, which is pretty cool, and what you want to have in the future. And you might want to look at the energy reading or channeled weekly guidance that I produced. I'll put it in the description box as well, which might be helpful because it talks about this as well, interestingly enough. So yeah, so this is about really if you're in a place where you're financially abundant, then it's great. It's affirmation that you're doing really well, but there's also almost the message coming through of you can have what you want. So if you've already achieved the goal that you've set, then what else is it that you want to manifest in this world? And it's not greedy, it's not, we have a very interesting relationship with money. I think a lot of people do, and it depends on how you grew up and what the message was then. So if you have any feelings about money that are perhaps I want to put in quotation marks negative or not supportive of you, then take a look at that, because it's money is not good or bad. It's just another way that we it's energy like everything else, and it's just another way that we see it. So it's really, I find it very interesting to look at. And for example, you can have people who are super rich yet they worry and stress about the money. And so having a lot of money is not a guarantee to happiness and joy. It's almost, we manifest the happiness, we manifest through happiness and joy, feeling into what it is that we want, and really giving it that positive energy. So yeah, it's really about confirming, firstly, if you are where you want to be, then really good job. And if there's more that you want to have, then it's there for you as well. And just to really focus on what it is that you want, and get clear about it. Okay, let's see what the tarot cards have to say. And for some as well, it could be a sign that there's someone in your life coming through who will support you financially, or of a male figure in that way. Okay, so let's see what the tarot has to say. Oops, it's a message for group 1. one. Okay, so let me just grab these cards which have fallen down. So then we've got the Page of Swords, the Six of Wands. Okay, let's see what else wants to come out. Okay, so we've got these three come out. Normally I wouldn't pull them all, but I seem to want to come out. So at the bottom of the deck, you've got the Knight of Cups, which is it's almost like, for me, I see it as a gift coming to you, which is quite nice. So it's almost like when you tune into what it is that you want, then you can receive the gifts, and it's almost about being emotionally open to them as well, because a lot of the time we do have things that come to us, but we don't recognize them because we've got our blinkers on. We've got these old beliefs that either we're not worthy of receiving, or no, that's not for us. We doubt ourselves. So it's really a message about being open to receive and getting clear on your emotions about your abundance, or what you want to manifest in the world. So, and really flowing. There's something about just going with the flow in the direction that life might be taking you. So then also, so the first card we got was the Page of Swords, and so for me, when I see the Page of Swords, I always see the clouds and the man holding, the boy holding the sword, and it represents clearing away all the clouds, and the swords represent our thoughts and beliefs and things like that. So it really ties in with what we're talking about. If you're wanting to create something in your life, what are the thoughts, what's the stuff, what's the noise around you that stops you from having it? And it's likely going to be old beliefs and things like that, like either life is hard, you have to work hard, things don't come to me easily, it's always for everybody else. I really encourage you to take a look at those things, because what it's saying is, when you do that, when you let go of all those old beliefs, then you get victory, because the Six of Wands is the victorious card, and you can see this guy sort of go in a parade, celebrating, or being celebrated for what he's achieved. So you can achieve what you want, but it just means putting in the work to let go of those things that don't serve you anymore. And interesting enough, you've got the Ace of Swords as well, which is all about new thoughts, new beliefs. So it's once you acknowledge the old beliefs that you have about yourself, and this could be in any, well, in this particular one we might be talking about abundance, but abundance means a lot of things. It could be financially, it could be emotionally abundant with love, etc. But it's almost like, let go of the old thoughts, and then what are the new thoughts instead that you want to implement? What can you replace those old thoughts with? Because if we don't replace them with new ones, then we keep going back to the old ones, and we're in a really amazing time, really, on the planet, despite what the outside world, or the news is telling us. That we have this opportunity to create change, and so rather than going back to the old way, what is a new change that you can implement instead? What's a new belief that you can create about yourself, where in the past might have kept you stuck in a situation that doesn't serve you? Because when you create new thoughts, then it leads you to happiness, and the Sun is the happiest card in the deck, and it's a major arcana card as well, and it says things happen quickly, because the Eight of Wands is about fast movement, so it's almost really spend that time getting rid of these old thoughts that no longer serve you, and then insert new beliefs. And you do that day by day, just as soon as you notice, and we know that these beliefs are not for our highest good because we feel fearful or anxious, whereas ones that are good for us feel great. We feel good, we feel like in our hearts we feel lighter. So just use that as a guide to when you start to feel the old thoughts drift back, just acknowledge them. Let's just say I set the intention to let them go, and what's the new belief that I'm instilling instead. And I honestly will say you'll see big shifts happen. And there we go. I didn't see this card for. So this is from, which deck is it? The Starseeds deck. And so it's release anything that keeps you from your path of authenticity. So yeah, there's not much more that I can say really, but that's exactly what these cards are telling you. Release all that doesn't serve you now, those old thoughts, beliefs, stories, so that you can create what you really want. That's amazing. So I hope that resonates with you, Group 1, and look forward to seeing you in another reading. Please do share, like, subscribe if you haven't already. I really want these messages to help people, so the more that we can share them, we can create more change in the world, which I think is what we need. Thanks so much again. Speak to you later. Bye. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's see what your guides want to tell you today. So I'll put that aside to look at later. So we've got Magician and the Mirror, which is a beautiful card. I just love the imagery and the colour. And what I'm getting from this is like the Magician card in the tarot deck. It's really that you are the magician in your life and that you can create what it is that you want. And I keep getting drawn to the infinity symbol. It's almost like anything is possible because you think about the infinity symbol and it's just it's infinite. And so it's something about don't limit yourself. Really look at just almost widen your desires, almost let your imagination go and really tune into what it is that you really want, because often we don't allow ourselves to do that because we're afraid that we won't be able to achieve it. And I know that's something that I've experienced in the past. Rather than go for what I wanted, I'd be like, well, that might not happen, so I'll just choose something that's a bit less than that. And it doesn't serve us to be small, to limit ourselves. And I'm talking, it's not necessarily about having billions of dollars, pounds, whatever. It's more where do you want to be in life? What's the perfect day that you imagine for yourself? What would be your perfect future? For example, would it be waking up and being able to spend an hour playing with the kids, or going for a walk, or whatever it is that is caring for yourself, and then going out and maybe working for 4 hours, and then that's enough, and that will be your ideal day because you still want to be contributing to the world in some way. That type of thing. Like, what is it that you really want? And if you can sort of try and get into the feeling of it, because that's really important when we want to create something in our lives. If we just use our minds but we don't really engage our emotions, then it's harder to create it, because all we're doing is, it's almost just an idea rather than something that we really want. And if you think about, you manifest every day really. Like you might wake up in the morning and think, well, I want some toast, and so you already have that image and you're going to have it. And there's as you're manifesting, it's also trusting that that's going to happen for you, and not being attached to a certain outcome, because when we have that sort of pull, then it's almost adds heaviness to what we want to create. I hope that makes sense, but if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer those for you. Just put that there, and let's see what the tarot has to say. What's the message for group 2? Oops, can't seem to be spinning. Message for group 2, please. Oops. Message for group 2. Okay. Like that. So then, I'm just going to tidy this up so you can see everything. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups. And so this is a card, I mean, even if you look at it, see what you get from that image. But generally, it's the card of, you know, almost going back to that time in your life, your childhood, where you didn't have worries, things where, you know, your life was of a more innocent nature, and you know, you're joyful, you just simple things really, when you think about it. I remember when I was younger, just being able to play outside and be with friends and play board games with my family. You know, those simple things were just enough. And we've sort of reached a point in our lives where nothing is almost enough, because we're not fulfilling that inner aspect of ourselves, and we've overcomplicated our lives. So there's something about really simplifying what is in your life at the moment. What is it that you need to bring in order to feel that youth again, that you know, if you remember waking up as a child, it's like, oh, it's a new day, what's going to happen today? I get to play with my friend, I get to, you know, it's that excitement about waking up and, you know, what's awaiting you. And I think, you know, as adults, we kind of forget that, and we can't, you know, we can lose that. I remember you know, going to a lot of my jobs feeling that way in the past, but you know, it doesn't happen that way anymore, because I'm excited about every day. So, you know, really tune into that, what it is that will bring you that joy again. And then it's saying, you know, maybe you've been worrying and not sleeping that well, because the swords represent our thoughts, and you know, the worry, the fear, and it's understandable at the moment because of the situation that we're experiencing. But when you get into that fearful space, really try and be aware and try and come back into yourself, to align back into your heart space, because we get into fear when we get into our minds and we start thinking about, you know, the future, what could happen, what could go wrong, you know, all those type of things, which is not helpful at all, and doesn't actually add much to our lives. Where if we start, you know, once we recognize that, start to go into that space of just trusting that things will work out, and you don't need to think and worry about it. And you know, you actually add more energy to those negative thoughts by thinking more of it. And you know, it's not something, you don't want to create more of that fear and anxiety in your life. So yeah, if you're in that situation, just try and, you know, when you feel it, try and come back into your body, breathe, stretch, you know, give yourself a little massage, just so that you come back into your center. And you know, if you want to, or if you can, go into nature and really just absorb those amazing energies. And if you can't, even looking outside at the sky is a way of connecting beyond yourself, and just you know that there's more to life than what you see, and that you are safe. You don't need to worry, and worry is just a habit that we've learned, but we can let go of that. And then we've got the Five of Cups here, which is almost it's just a reminder of gratitude, really, because there's 5 cups here, 3 have fallen, but there's still 2 there, and the guy's looking at all the things that have gone wrong, but not necessarily what's going right. And so it's really about what are you grateful for, what is going well in your life, because that will help you to understand as well how you've created the good things in your life and how you really are that magician, and that you don't need to worry and stress about everything that's happening, that life will take care of you and you can trust in that. So if you haven't already, maybe start a gratitude journal and just note down, because we really do have so much, having clean water, being able to have a bed to sleep in at night, might be being able to see your family, being able to see your kids, so many things that we have in our lives, yet we focus on all the things that we don't have. And it's just a reminder to focus on what what are the great things in your life. And this is what will lead you to happiness, because when you let go of those fears and worries, focus on what's good, then you do feel more joyful. Like, it's just an instant boost to how you're feeling. So I think that's, remember, you can create what you want, and let go of those fears and worries, get back into your heart space. Remember what you have in your life, all the good things, and then that's going to really help you to feel happy and joyful. And you get choice as the starseed card. By staying conscious in your thoughts, you guide your journey in the direction of choice, which is amazing. It's exactly what I was saying before. You have the choice to let go of these old stories, these old beliefs. It doesn't have to be a big, deal. You can simply say, I choose to do things differently, and that's a great thing, the power that we do have, and to see all the good things that we have in life so that we can create our own happiness. So keep that in mind, group 2. So I hope that resonates. If you feel that it would help others, please share, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because it really helps the channel, but also it's about sharing these messages of love and light, really, because there's enough fear out there, and I want change in the world, so I want to be able to support and serve as many people as possible. So I hope that if you could do that, that'd be great. So thanks for watching, group 2, and I wish you a wonderful day. Bye. Hi, group 3, welcome to your reading. Let's see what your guides have to tell you, what their message is. So we'll look at the Star Seeds card later, but okay, so this is fairly clear, rest and rejuvenation. So, and I absolutely love these colors around. It's almost, it's like you're being supported by your spiritual team, because they're all around you. It's, there's such a strong connection with, the other world, really. And so it's almost saying you can let go, you can rest and you can relax. You don't need to hold on and, make things happen. It's really a time just to enjoy the fruits of your labor, really, and to spend time looking after your body and your thoughts. It's something really, I guess, I keep getting drawn to, his body, and so it's really, about taking care of yourself, self-care. And then also I'm seeing the clouds, and it's like, remember your connection to almost more than what you see, whether you want to call it the universe or what else do we call it? You might call it God, you might call it, just remember that you are more than just your physical body as well. Even though we need to take care of that and take care of ourselves, we have a strong connection to the world beyond, or the universe beyond. Yeah, and maybe even yoga or anything that helps you to align back into yourself. Something, because we do yoga, we get back into our body and we really connect with ourselves. It's, for me, I don't see yoga as exercise. I find it, and it wasn't taught to me that way. It was more, yoga was a preparation for meditation, that opportunity to connect with your deeper self. And so, if you don't like yoga, maybe you can do some stretching, because that's another way that helps you to connect with your body. And our body holds so many messages for us, and if we don't listen to it, then their messages get stronger, either through pain, discomfort, that type of thing. So really take the time to listen to yourself and your body, and to rest and relax and rejuvenate. So let's see what the tarot has to say for us, for you, group 3. It's the tarot. Okay. What's the message for group 3? Any other? Oh gosh, sorry about that. I'm going to not take those. Okay, so I've got 2 cards that have just jumped out. Let me just quickly grab those. They're rather jumpy today, I have to say. Alright, there we go. So at the bottom of the deck, we've got the 3 of Pentacles, which is great. This is about building new foundations, or building a foundation for yourself. And I keep hearing self-care, looking after yourself, setting a new pattern. So maybe it's setting a new routine. That's what it is, setting a new routine for yourself. And so this is, with the 3 of Pentacles, you're building and you're constructing, you're consulting with others as well. So perhaps if you're not quite sure how or what you need to do in order to create a new way for yourself, or new self-care way, or new health regime, etc., then reach out to someone who can support you, and who will know what the process is, or will support you to find your own process, which I think is probably better, because we all have different ways of working, and it's better to be guided towards finding a way that works for you, rather than being told, because then you'll buy into it more, and you'll be able to stick to it. Whereas if someone tells you this is the way you need to do things, and you don't actually really believe it, then it's not going to work, and it'll just waste your time. Right, so the first card that came out was the Ace of Swords. And so this is about new beliefs, new ideas. And I feel like when you rest and maybe you've been stressed about things, working really hard, putting a lot of pressure on yourself. It's, this card has come out to tell you to slow down. Your guides want to tell you to really slow down, and to implement new ways of doing things, because when you give yourself that time off, you'll start to have new ideas, you'll start to feel that energy come back, that rejuvenation, and that's when the creativity comes back, in whatever form that you might use it in your life. And our creativity, which sits in our sacral chakra, is amazing for helping us to move forward and create new things in our lives. And if we're exhausted, then we can't really do that. We just don't have the energy for it. So really take that time to rest, and they're almost saying they're around you. They're here to, again, that message just came through again. They're supporting you, they're around you, and you don't need to worry. It's just about trusting, really just trusting. Because, there's a lot of happiness in your life. And if you don't feel it, maybe try looking for it, because sometimes we have so much in our lives, yet we don't appreciate it because of, our perspective of what life should be like, and we need to be happy, when actually happiness isn't based on it's what's happening outside of us. Of course we can be affected by that, but we can actually generate a lot of happiness and joy within ourselves, without it being dependent on the external world. And you have that power, and the sun is saying, you've got a lot of happiness in your life, and to appreciate those things, and good things are coming towards you as well. And then we've got Death card, which is great. It's a card about transformation. So it's about the old going, so that you can open a new chapter. And it's almost like when you tying in with all of this, and you've got 3 major arcana cards. So this is saying that these are big shifts for you, or big messages. It's about allowing transformation into your life, letting go of those old patterns of being hard on yourself, working too hard, or putting pressure on yourself. They need to go, so that you can allow all the new things to come into your life, the transformation to happen. And it's really important that you trust in your intuition. For me, it's a superpower that we have, and one that we don't really use as much as we could or should, because we've been told to be more reliant on our thinking mind. And I believe our mind is great. It's something that we all need in order to get our certain actions done, and various things like that, to our tax returns, but it's not necessarily great for guiding aspects of our lives. So it's telling you, really, focus on your intuition when you're feeling, especially when we're going through a lot of change and we've got a lot of newness in our life. It can feel a bit scary because we're almost a bit adrift. It's everything is new. What do we do now? How but it's saying that your intuition is going to guide you forward through all of this, so you don't actually need to worry, and you can let go of those fears and concerns, etc., and just start to trust in the process. And so just overall, really just take time out, if you're not already. Everything, you're safe, your spiritual team, your guides are around you. This time will really allow you to create a new start for yourself, for new ideas to come to you, for happiness to come to you, and just trust in your intuition and yourself that things will work out. And then you've got, from the Starseeds card, Free Spirit. To be a free spirit is to float without walls, to fly without judgment, and to love without conditions. That's just great, isn't it? It's almost like there are no limits, and tying in with, it's almost, to love yourself just as you are, because when you do that, you will love others, and to really give yourself that time to rest and relax. And you are a spiritual being in a human body, so all of this is accessible to you. So I hope that resonates with you, Group 3. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, do let me know. Please share, like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It'd be great if these messages are able to be shared, so that more people feel supported and loved during these somewhat challenging times, but very opportunistic as well. There's so much opportunity for us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next reading. Bye, Group 3.